The MacIver Institute hosted a luncheon last week with guest speaker Congressman Paul Ryan. Ryan spoke about his new book titled The Way Forward: Renewing the American Idea. During the event, he discussed the main focus of his book, which is his vision for our country and the policies needed to move it in the right direction.
It starts with having the individual person as the nucleus, whether it's a person who is trying to go from welfare to work, whether it's a person who is seeking health care, whether it's a retiree on Medicare or Social Security. It recognizes that the fundamental primary principle is a person has choice, and you use competition to deliver services, and you get the government to meet its respectful limits so that you can maximize economic growth. So whether it's tax reform by taking crony capitalism out of the code and lowering tax rates across the board, having a regulatory system that is fair and equal for all and not propped up by propping up incumbent businesses, hurting barriers to entry, or whether it's balancing the budget and getting spending under control, welfare reform 2.0, focus on getting people from poverty to work, to a life of self-sufficiency, or to having a defense and foreign policy that makes us strong, so that we don't retreat in our place in the world and thereby invite aggression, which will compromise our prosperity and our security. So I go through a whole list of these issues on what we ought to do, because if you don't like the direction the country is headed, whether it's the mess at the border, or the debt crisis that's coming, or the insolvency of our entitlements, or the welfare state that is not getting better, or America losing its standing in the world, if you don't like this current situation, then I, as an elected leader, owe people how I would do things differently, what principles would be applied, and what these policies look like, and that's basically what's fleshed out in this book.
Ryan also discussed what he thinks the proper role of government is in today's society.
As a conservative, we believe in government. We just think it needs to be limited so that it can be effective in what it does. I describe in great detail how it's important to have a safety net, and how government, by consent of the governed, has proven time and again that people want a safety net. So I think our republic and our democracy, our democratic process, has proven that this is something that needs to occur. So why don't we save it and make it work so that we have a safety net for people who cannot help themselves, and for people who are down on the luck, who are able-bodied. Let's do everything we can to have a proper system that helps them get on their feet, from welfare to work and the rest. And so I spent a great deal of time talking about the role of government, the proper role of government, and how a conservative vision is far more able and capable of delivering on the promise of American life than what I would call the liberal progressive vision that we're living under these days.
For the MacIver Institute, I'm Nick Novak.